Stand for the national anthem. Prayer. I'll ask everyone that is on the outside there, if you can come in, there's seats available here.
Good evening, everybody. We ask that everybody close their eyes and bow their heads. We pause in quiet reflection to offer these words of a peaceful Trinidad and Tobago. In our individual and personal ways, we call upon the Holy One who sustains our lives and who inspires us to live with compassion, kindness, and peace. We ask for daily guidance in all of our personal relationships, in our work and play, and in our community involvement, that we might model the possibilities of peace in everything we say and in everything we do. We pray for wisdom and compassion within the hearts and minds of all our leaders who have the power and the responsibility of making decisions that impact the presence of peace and productivity for our nation. We pray for courage, dedication, and integrity within the spirits of all those who work for peace in our nation and around the world. We pray for all those who harbor thoughts and feelings of hatred, violence, and greed, and that their hearts and minds and soul will be transformed into your likeness of compassion and kindness. We are thankful for your presence within our lives and ask for your blessing as we try to live peaceful lives and seek ways for all people to live in harmony and peace. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Kasana. You may have your seats. A pleasant good night once again. Welcome to the UNC's Pavement Report. And we are coming live from the Cunupia market. I am Alderman Marissa Ramlogan of the Chaguanas Borough Corporation, and I have with me my co-host, Alderman Whitney Stevenson Hamlet, and we will be chairing this evening's proceedings. Without further ado, we will bring on our first speaker.
Our first speaker for tonight is the chairman of our Standing Finance Committee of the Chaguanas Borough Corporation. Please welcome Alderman Puran Mongaru.
Honorable political leader, distinguished members of parliament, Mayor of Chaguanas, council members, special invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good night. Thank you for joining us today as we gather here for the political pavement report. I am honored to stand before you as your Alderman and Chairman of the Finance Plan and Allocation of Resources at the Chaguanas Borough Corporation. And I share some reflection on the current state of affairs, particularly focusing on the national budget as its allocation. In 2023, the national budget is a substantial amount of $59.209 billion, was earmarked for various sectors crucial to our nation's progress. As such, the government is spending $1 billion plus per week. It is disheartening, however, to note that despite the substantial allocation, we are facing significant challenges in critical areas. Let us begin with the Ministry of Works and Transport, which was granted $3.394 billion. Despite this allocation, our roadway continued to be plagued by an unacceptable number of potholes, causing inconvenience and safety concerns for our citizens. Turning our attention to the Ministry of National Security, an allocation of $6.912 billion was made. Unfortunately, the rise in crime, particularly in murders and home invasions, indicates that our efforts in the sector are not yielding the desired result. We must collectively reevaluate our strategies to ensure the safety and well-being of our community. In the field of education, where the future of our nation's children is nurtured, a comparable $8.022 billion was allocated for 2024. While this is promising, we must remain vigilant in ensuring that these funds are utilized efficiently to provide our youth with the best possible education. Now let us bring the focus closer to home. The Shogunas Borough Corporation, the revised allocation for 2023 stood at 76.826 million, and unfortunately, the allocation budget for 2024 has been reduced to $72.033 million, resulting in a shortfall of $4.793 million. This reduction poses challenges for our initiative and projects, and as a community, we must collectively work towards finding viable solutions. Property tax. You will be paying property tax on an annual rental value, as though you are renting your property, but you're not collecting any money. Then they will deduct 10% from the annual rental value that they say that your property value. And what they are saying, you will be there for only 10% at the time on your property. So they will deduct 10% from the property tax. So I am sending a message to the PNM and the Finance Minister that I will be paying my property tax as though I am paying. I will give them a second choice. Give us the rental money that you say we collecting, and then we will be able to pay the property tax. In conclusion, as your alderman and chairman of the Finance Planning and Allocation of Resources, I am committed to advocating for transparency, accountability, and effective utilization of resources. It is crucial that we work collaboratively to address the shortcomings highlighted in the national budget, ensuring that the allocated funds translate into tangible improvement in our community. I look forward to working together to engage in constructive discussion with all stakeholders to chart a path forward for the betterment of the Shogunas and our beloved nation as a whole. I have one question for Rowley. I don't think that he will say that I'm asking for too much. I would like Rowley to set a date for election so that the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa could be the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago to bring relief to the nation. Thank you, and let us embark on our journey of progressive together.
Let's give it a round of applause to Alderman Puran Mongaroo. Our next speaker is the chairman of Spatial Planning, the councillor for the electoral district of Montrose, the deputy mayor of Shogunas Borough Corporation, Ms. Melissa Chagunanan.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and family, all protocols observed. I greet you with a hearty good night with all the love and warmth I feel from you. Thank you. This is my maiden speech. And safe to say, you chose me. You gave me the opportunity to serve you as councillor. For this, I am grateful. I am Melissa Jadunanan from Montrose. You will remember in the lead up to our local government elections, our compassionate, caring, and insightful leader, the Honorable Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, made us pledge publicly that we will serve you in the rain, in the sun, in the flood, and in the droughts. I remember her talking about us serving you with muddy hands and soaking bodies. Well, today I'm here to talk to you about the courage we will all need to serve you in this drought created by the PNM. I'm talking about the 8-year drought that has befallen our fertile nation. This drought is not for the lack of water, but because of a lack of humanity, decency, and care. It is a drought of love. I'm here to talk about how everything is drying up before our very eyes. This nation of fertile minds, fertile imaginations, fertile industry has been drained dry like a biscuit by this useless PNM. Everything they touch is cracking and crumbling. Every day, the newspaper, some psychologist or psychiatrist or economist is telling us that we are in an epidemic of depression, that in the fires of hope and prayer, we are marginalized, hopes marginalized, and dreams marginalized. I will live to see someday somebody write a book on this PNM period entitled From Dreams to Debris. Spitefully, the PNM has tried to undo everything that our great leader and party have done. But you all know the victories and challenges and wins. One thing they cannot do is undo your belief and knowledge that our party is a party of winners. Just look at our past wins in education, sport, health, job creation, foreign exchange, agriculture, women's issues, infrastructural development, and national security. And most of all, our great party and a great leader have given to you richly from a heart of gold, togetherness, and prosperity. It's called Kamala Prasad Bisesa's love, KPBs. And then there are these 3 words for when all that love has dried up. Those words are the PNM. People never matter. People could die, they could suffer, be reduced to poverty. People never matter. The PNM. They are like blotting paper on this landscape. They can soak up any opportunity, any joy, any happiness, any prosperity, and any sense of safety faster than bounty. Why must we live our lives and prospects? Why must our lives and prospects now look so dry, hard, and brittle? What did we do to deserve the PNM? We did nothing. But I know what we didn't do. We didn't gerrymander boundaries. We didn't send home thousands of workers. We didn't kill off hopes of the young people. We didn't take away opportunity. We didn't take away scholarships and GATE. We didn't take away their chance out of poverty. Let me talk about why the PNM is myopic, useless, and bereft of heart, and frankly speaking, becoming more and more unlikable by the minute. And I'm talking about the point of view from a woman and a lawyer who see these issues daily. Any day you go into public office, most people seeking help are women. Women carry the weight of responsibilities for families squarely on their shoulders. It is the women who go in for birth certificates, death certificates, to WASA, to TNTEC, who go to hospital clinics, women who go to the Ministry of Education, women who go with their kids to schools, this is women who are in front jails, working their hands to blood in agriculture and in the markets. And many times, as these women try desperately for help, there's an infant holding a hand and another holding a leg. What kind of man will know this hardship befalling women and do nothing about it? There are men who only see dresses and skirts. There are men who use women. I interact with endless women. This is a place where women are routinely beaten, robbed, raped, and murdered every day. What kind of administration thinks this is acceptable? The cold-hearted PNM administration. They think this is okay because Hines is still the Minister of National Security. Our leader has called the PNM the architects of pain. That is who they are. You know the pain they have created, as if molded by the devil's own hands. Have you ever tried to register death in Trinidad or access health care, apply for a scholarship? Have you ever used the roads in Trinidad and Tobago? How about access to foreign exchange? Have you ever tried to transfer a vehicle? Visit any government office? You see where I'm going with this? Institutional failure. The PNM have their doctorate in failure. We are at maximum capacity, bursting at the seams in Chaguanas. Our quality of life is eroding. Mental health issues are on the rise. It is only more malls and more potholes, where the access roads and bitumen, mismanagement and governance, and malfeasance in public office have become glaring issues. Policies crafted without foresight, decisions driven by short-term gains rather than long-term stability. A lack of transparency has left our economic foundation shaky. We demand accountability. PNM corruption undermines the very fabric of our society. PNM corruption diverts resources away from essential services and projects that could uplift our nation. Imagine we have to provide for security fees and contracts because the PNM have failed to protect its citizens. But amidst this pain and drought, there is hope. Together we can advocate for reform that strengthen our institutions. We will demand transparency in governance. Our great party and our great leader will work towards a Trinidad and Tobago where the economy thrives, where leadership is defined by integrity, and where the well-being of our citizens is the paramount concern. As I said earlier, let's show the PNM what positivity looks like. It's called Kamala Prasad Bisesa's love. And we know it as TNT wins with KPP. In conclusion, the road ahead may be challenging, but it's not insurmountable. Together we can strive for a Trinidad and Tobago that stands as a beacon of prosperity. Our great party has always been guided by the principles of accountability, transparency, and good governance. My entire family had abandoned this country. I was too blind to see any light at the end of any tunnel in any foreign country. I stayed here, and my beloved political leader, Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, Senior Counsel, has given me an opportunity to help be part of a solution, to see Trinidad become the beautiful paradise of an island she once was. She has given me the belief that we can re-emerge from this rubble, depression, and drought that is the PNM. Join in the campaign of the UNC and Kamala Prasad Bisesa now. In the short time, I have experienced a gamut of emotions that I never knew I had. And through my leader, she has given courage via proxy. I look at my political leader standing strong and unmovable like the Himalayan mountains. And she will be your next Prime Minister, our next Prime Minister. And just in case you don't know that Jadoo means magic, I'll be your Melissa that makes magic. Watch me do it. Thank you again for giving me this opportunity to serve. Long live the United National Congress.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Melissa Jadunanan. Our next speaker, it is a youth of our country. And our political leader, Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, believes in a mixture of youth, experience. She makes sure it's always about everyone and inclusiveness. And you can see that at the Chaguanas Borough Corporation because we have a mixture of all together. This young gentleman is the chairman of the Physical Infrastructure Standing Committee, a young, dynamic councillor, and from what I've seen thus far, is representing his burgesses to the best of his ability. I would like you to welcome Councillor Justin Lee Stewart, the councillor for Enterprise North, Esmeralda.
Even if she wants a Trinidad song.
Enterprise North Esmeralda, where are you? Enterprise North Esmeralda! Members of the panel, specially invited guests, and the audience, a special good night. As you all may be well aware, I was elected to represent the district of Enterprise North Esmeralda and the last local government election. Tonight, I want to ultimately express my gratitude to you, the Burgesses, who repose such great faith in me. Given this is my first opportunity in a public forum since the elections, tonight I sincerely express my thanks to you, the people of Shogunas, and especially you, the people of Enterprise North Esmeralda. Tonight, I want to register my contractual obligation to you, the people. I am sincerely vowing to become a humble servant and always be available to fulfill your concerns at whatever time of the night, despite whatever weather patterns, come hell or high waters, I will be there at a moment's notice. This is the pact or contract I make with you tonight. I will never be absent and missing. Your concerns will be voiced in the hallowed chambers of the Borough Council, and you can be guaranteed of that. Tonight, my report will start by highlighting the fantastic work undertaken by the previous councillor, my brother, my pal, my soldier, who worked side by side during the election campaign and whose work in this electoral district speaks for itself. Therefore, as they say, when something isn't broken, leave it alone. Therefore, it is my desire to pursue with the same energy, emotion, and passion the work started by Mr. Barry Bojam, who represented this district with distinction. Tonight, I want to tell you, thank you, Barry Bojam. I am pleased to report the following: the completion of projects for the fiscal year 2022-2023 under drainage and irrigation. Box drain, Samson Chase box drain completed. Chinese Drive box drain completed. Yang Avenue box drain completed. Under roads and bridges, this paving, Ice Trace was being neglected by the government, paved. Lily Avenue, paved. Jonathan Trace South, paved. Rattan Avenue and Gang Avenue, all paved under this administration. Not forgetting the recreational grounds, working in collaboration with the MP for Shogunas East, closely with Digicel, we helped put together a homework center in the streets. But tonight, I have greater news to report to you. All you want to know? All you want to know the news? Well, let me let you know the news. After drainage and irrigation allocation was divided among the districts, whilst it may sound like a huge sum, it was 760,000 for this fiscal year. Despite all the political talk about empowering the corporation, this is what they gave us. Tonight, I say stop all the old talk about property tax and local government reform. Walk the walk, don't just talk the talk. It is my noble intention to execute the following infrastructure and drainage irrigation programs. Bearing in mind, I assumed office a mere 2 months ago. However, that is not an excuse. The following are the projects to be approved. Let me start. Bojam Trace, box drain. Floral Avenue, Longdenville, box drain. Reynolds Terrace, Bernard Street East, Michael Terrace East, Michael Terrace West, Railway Road, all will have a box drain. But that's not all yet. That's not all yet. Under paving, Bojam Street West, Bojam Street North, Crown Chase, and main access road from Rodney Road will be paved. Esmeralda Road will be paved. Floral Drive, Jonathan Trace, Railway Road Extension, all to be approved. Ladies and gentlemen, you would have noticed in such a short space of time the volume of work already identified and put in train. This is performance of your newly elected councillor. who is speaking to you on this platform and delivering. This is quality representation. It's a clear manifestation of the talent within the United National Congress. As we prepare ourselves for the corridor of power whenever general elections are called, I want to remind you not to forget your Member of Parliament for Shogunas East, who is a hard-working and most vibrant, who lives and breathes and focuses on the issues of you, the Burgesses. To all our supporters and our MPs, best of luck.
You see now make the people suffer. It's waiting for but now vote for the press.
UNC family, wouldn't you say that your representation is good hands with young Justin Lee Stewart? Make some noise for your Council for Enterprise North. Our next speaker is the chairman of the Public Health Standing Committee. She is your councillor for the electoral district of Enterprise South, Londonville North, and she has been representing you to the best of her ability at the Shogunas Borough Corporation. Make some noise for Miss Brenda John.
Thank you. Woo! UNC family. I love you, I love you, I love you. Enterprise South Londonville North, I am here. Pavement report. I am so glad to be a part of this UNC family, my first major speech. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, residents of Cunupia and environments, good evening. It is an honor to stand before you as your elected councillor for the electoral district of Enterprise South, Londonville North. I extend my warm greetings to the opposition leader, Ms. Kamala Bisasa, members of United National Congress, our hard-working team, and the wonderful people who have gathered here today for this crucial meeting entitled Pavement Report. Before I delve into the key topics of our discussion here tonight, I would like to discuss all protocols. I express my deepest gratitude to all organizers, our distinguished guests, fellow councillors, and most important, to each and every one of you here, the heartbeat of our community, for being present tonight. Now let's turn our attention to the pressing issues at hand, starting with a focus on youth development and adult retraining. Our vision for the future includes completion of that community center on African ground, which is dear to me. I am 52 years, I spent 45 years in enterprise, and I will continue to lobby for that building before my tenure is up. I know it will be open. With the help of the MP, I know it will be open. I'm not going to stop fight for it. Shamfa culture, you have Brenda John to deal with. That building, which is that white building, which I will say that white elephant in African grounds, and PNM people say they care about people. Care about what? Nothing had been done for more than 5 years on that building, but Shamfa had the audacity to watch MP Vandana Mohit and tell her, we working on it. Working on what? What you working on? Lies and more lies and lies. We fed up with it. You'll have to start working from it from now. I will not stop. The facility will serve. This uncaring PNM government left it undone. We have been lobbying for this facility for years. This facility will serve as a hub here for what? Best Village, art and craft, sewing, computer lab, homework center, recording studio. Reason why in Enterprise and Londonville is because we have over 40 plus artists, well-known artists. Banjela, you all will know Banjela who win Young Kings. We have Silent Star, we have Stubby, we have the Novo Shella Mendoza, and we have more in Londonville, which we have to lobby for. Malanacha, how many people know Malanacha? Malanacha signed a contract now with Taurus Riley, and it is not being highlighted, and this I will continue to fight for. Provide with a glimpse of what to come. We have prepared and will show, and I have pictures will circulate. Additionally, our commitment extends to fostering a culture of sports, physical activity within our community. We are initiating plans for diverse array of sporting activities, include a basketball league. We have Mr. McKnight in Enterprise, a well-known basketball coach. We have martial arts, exploration of other hidden sporting discipline within our communities. Moving on to adult retraining, we understand the importance of adapting to the demands of modern world. Therefore, we are launching a retraining program aimed at empowering adults who wish to learn skills and embark on a new career path. This program will encompass emerging fields such as information technology and artificial intelligence, which will help TSTT for what just happened with the cybercrime. It will help in our pursuit of creating a safer, more prosperous community. We turn our attention to crime solutions by providing more avenues for youth's involvement in positive activities like sports, music, highlighting positive role models. We believe we can make significant strides in curbing criminal activity. We don't want what happened to MJ in Enterprise on African ground. It was heart-wrenching to see what happened to MJ, and I'm not going to allow this anymore. We need to form community. We need to form neighborhood watch. We need to be involved in our community and look out for each other. We are promoting entrepreneurship and small business development to assist young people in starting new business initiatives. Mentorship and internship programs taking our youth off the streets and into meaningful opportunities. Another exciting projects involve production of music album, featuring talents, singing positive songs against crimes and violence. If you all go on YouTube or Google, you will see Starship Enterprise, and you'll see all the local artists on that sing about crime. As we strive to build a compassionate community, we are also committing to assisting families living in poverty. As plans are underway to set up a temporary soup kitchen, a permanent one at the community center once that white elephant is completed. Additionally, we are establishing a drop-off points for donation of canned foods and clothing to provide much needed support to those in need. I will want to see a lot happening in Enterprise and in Londonville. I take over as a councillor and was elected as a councillor from Ms. Hamlet. Ms. Hamlet did a lot in her district, despite what people have to say, and this is not written. This is from here. And I would like each and every one of you here tonight listening to me. UNC is a strong party. We need each and every one for it to progress, for us to remove this PNM government 2025. As the chairperson for public health, I'm not going to say much on public health. I work at the Port of Spain General Hospital, and Terry Dial saying I'm coming for you. Good night.
Boss tell me that she wants a Trinidad song. Great one.
I can see family, we can make some honors our councillor for Enterprise South, Londonville North, Miss Brenda Chan. Correct, yellow is the code. Thank you, Councillor. I would like to bring on our next UNC Pavement Report platform, the MP, the Member of Parliament for Caroni Central, MP Anal Ram.
The boss tell me that she wants.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening to the wonderful people of Chaguanas East. Let me hear you make some noise to the United National Congress. All right. All protocols observed. I only have a minute and a half to let you know what is happening on Sunday. This Sunday, the 3rd of December 2023, at the Chaguanas Borough Corporation, we are having our 5K walk, 5K run and 1K walk. It starts at 4 p.m. But it's very important that I also tell you, at 1 p.m., we will start our health and wealthy lifestyle campaign with a medical day, wherein you can get your vitals checked by Dr. Rai Ragbear, you can have some dental checkups by Dr. Rishi Sicharan, and some optical done by members of the United National Congress. You know we have the brightest and best doctors in the United National Congress. Also, we have some entertainment at the end of the run. The run is expected approximately, an average human takes about 30 to 35 minutes to finish a 5K run. In terms of the walk, approximately 10 to 12 minutes. Now, we have a couple spaces available still, so you can still register. There are some flyers distributed. You can also check any one of the councillors in the Chaguanas Borough Corporation for registration. You can check Mayor Faik Mohammed and others. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you immensely for the opportunity, and I want to see you all on Sunday, the 3rd December 2023 at the Chaguanas Borough Corporation. Thank you.
Thank you, MP Anal Ram, for that great information. Our next speaker is our young leader. He is also the councillor for the electoral district of Charleville and has worked in the best interests of the people of Chaguanas Borough Corporation. It gives me great pleasure to bring on none other than my brother, our young Mayor of Chaguanas, His Worship Faik Mohammed.
Thank you, my sister, Alderman Whitney Stevenson Hamlet, UNC family. The code is yellow. Once upon a time, we lived in a peaceful, productive, prosperous land, Trinidad and Tobago. A country with a low crime rate, where you weren't afraid to sleep in your own bed. A country where $100 could fill your tank with gas. A country where you could have gotten more for $1. Imagine before I came here, a vagrant was passing by and he asked for a little change. So I took $1 out of my pocket to give him. He watched me like, if I am mad here now, why am I giving him this? So I did some introspection and I thought, this man right? What could he buy with $1? In the parlor today or in a supermarket? He could barely buy a Bobby with $1. Just think about that. We lived in a country where Forex wasn't an issue. Recently, you would see Republic Bank move its US spending limit from $10,000 to $5,000. This shortage is severely affecting our businesses today. It is difficult for businesses to purchase raw materials and stock. And when they do acquire this much needed foreign exchange, business owners are forced to pay a higher rate. Basic economics. This drives the cost up of products and production. Thus,
drives our cost of living up. Today, I joke among my friends. Today we get more foreign exchange at CPL games than we get at the bank. UNC family, we lived in a country that had a prime minister that was caring, that was compassionate, but most importantly, a prime minister that was competent. And I speak of none other than the Honorable Kamla Persad Bissessa. Kamla had and have real plans of diversifying the economy. And in all her budget speeches, you would have heard of how she would have done things if we were in charge, and how she would have changed the grim fate of this country that the PNN has us under. Kamla had a plan to put laptops back in our children's book bag. The PNM said no. Kamla had a plan to open the gate wider. That's the government assistance for tuition expenses. She had a plan to create 50,000 jobs. She had a plan to get Trinidad and Tobago working again. And I am sorry the population believed and fell for PNM lies and propaganda. Not once, but twice. Now, our country is in a crisis. We are in a crisis. For the past 8 years, Trinidad and Tobago has been on red alert. Rowley came in like Miley Cyrus. He came in on a wrecking ball. I can hear you all be singing it right now. Rowley came in on a wrecking ball, destroying our economy, destroying our country. Red and ready soon became dead and hungry. We in charge became blame Kamla, blame the UNC. As citizens, we need to open up our eyes and see the truth. Tobago did. Remember, Tobago did. So my friends, just like a wolf in sheep clothing, they were red to make you believe that they are true patriots of this country and they care about our country. But there are only 3 things they care about. That's their friends, their family, and their finances. The AG office, over billions have been spent, and PNM bigwigs getting the lion's share. Then we have the One Alexander buildings. And oh gosh, we can't fail to mention Stewart, the reigning recusal champion in Parliament. I need not say any more, but the list goes on and on. Billions spent by this government, and what are we getting? You know what we are getting? High food prices, high fuel prices, high crime rate, and tax after tax after tax. So, my brothers and sisters, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. I want you all to know that real patriots wear yellow. What do real patriots wear? We wear yellow. And we bleed red, white, and black. We in the UNC firmly believe that every creed and race has an equal place. And it's our solemn duty to fight for you in Parliament, in Council, on the pavement, and in this case, on the pavement report. We will fight until we return Trinidad and Tobago back to prosperity. Can you imagine today we live in a country when you go to the hospitals, you have to sit on chairs for hours in sickness and in pain. Heinz recently boasted, if you want a heart surgery, just jump out of a maxi, walk into the hospital, and take it as yours. This man delusional. This man is delusional. And these are the people that is running our country. You can't even get Panadol in the hospital. You expect to get a heart surgery? You quicker get a heart attack. You quicker get a heart attack. Waiting with all that separation. A couple months ago, I took my father to the hospital. Hours went, and we sat and we toiled. I think he even got sicker waiting. So I know your pain. I know your suffering. And I'm sure we all have our own horror stories. I see Marla just indicated that she has a few. But Marla, not tonight. But you have Heinz. You have Heinz saying, if you want a heart surgery, just walk in and take it. I just want to mention tonight, it's time that Shogunas, it is time that Shogunas get a hospital. Land is already located on Connector Road for this hospital. So let's start that conversation, but on another night. Apart from a failing health sector, we have the worst road infrastructure in the world. Potholes have potholes. I think our previous speaker was talking about that. Drivers feel as though they are playing Mario Kart in real life. The younger ones will get what I'm saying there. I was telling my council recently that our goal should be to fix the worst first. But when you look at it, it seems to be all. But don't worry, to the residents of Crown Trace and the Burgesses that pass through Crown Trace and the Old Southern Main Road, they are on top of our list. But bad roads, I just want to say, but bad roads is directly related to this government. No one can tell me any different, and they should not tell you any different. Since they came into power, I want you all to think about this. Since they came into power, they stifled the funding of the corporations, not only Shogunas, of the corporations, and they continue to do so. They have failed to fix and maintain road infrastructure. You all remember 623 men? Anyone here? Do you all remember 623 men? It's a 24-hour road patching service that the Ministry of Works implemented. None of you can remember that. You know why? Apparently that this was a magic trick Rohan introduced because it disappeared within 2 months from the Ministry of Works. I want to take time to clarify a statement as well Rohan made, Minister of Works, a while back. He said that they make road mix available for corporations, but the Shogunas corporation, we don't send for it. We won't send for it. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. I am telling you tonight, we will go to Tobago or Timbuktu if we are getting free road mix to fix any roadway in Shogunas. They are stifling our funding to buy road material and fix our roadways. You think we will go for 10 tons of mix that could help alleviate the cries of Burgesses out there, especially our motorists? Last financial year, all we could have acquired was one truckload of material per electoral district. And it have potholes out there so wide and so deep. One truckload. It takes one truckload to fix that hole. So, Minister, miss me with that BS and stop telling lies. Because we did send for mix. And on many occasions when we did, the plan broke down. Let's move on to traffic. Many of you face traffic to come to this meeting. So let's move on to traffic. Traffic is a major issue in Shogunas. And you see that curb and slipper drainage project they did on Endeavour Flyover to alleviate traffic. That's what they call in their traffic alleviation program. How Binimanda said, oh, na. We're not taking that. We need Not want, because there's a difference between a want and a need. So we need a holistic approach, not a piecemeal approach to traffic. We need substantial investment into our road network system. We have seen all the plans and proposals. It looks lovely, amazing, beautiful, super. I'm running out of adjectives. Fabulous, awesome, marvelous. But when? But when are they going to materialize? When are they going to materialize? 2025. Elections is right around the corner. So you know what I expect? They will want to come around. They will want to host round table meetings, brunch. You might get called to sip some tea, supper, even a candlelight dinner you might get. The full works, just to unveil their plans again. End results, talk, and nothing happens. They may come and give us a next piecemeal project for elections. Who knows? Minister, but answer me this. When will we get in some relief? When will the burgesses of Shogunas be getting some relief from this traffic situation that we are facing currently? Citizens are frustrated. It is taking a toll on us mentally, and countless productive hours are lost in traffic. When you all meet, because this government will start to meet with the business chambers, when you meet with the business community, especially in Shogunas, you'll say, oh, Shogunas is doing so well. You are the fastest growing municipality in Trinidad and Tobago. Even in 2016, Rowley said, I will make Shogunas a city. And again, just like the PNM, promises never materialize. You can't claim to care about the economy and care about businesses in Shogunas and do nothing, especially do nothing about the traffic situation here. Traffic is one of the biggest deterrents to commerce. Can you imagine? We at the Shogunas Borough Corporation, we wrote a letter, and I have it here, to have a public consultation in Shogunas. We wrote the letter to the Ministry of Works to have a public consultation in Shogunas for traffic. So we can hear from the burgesses their plans as well for traffic, as well as from the councillors and the business community, and we'll come together and devise a strategy for traffic in Shogunas. Minister responded. First time I got a response from him. I think after tonight I might not get any more. He responded and said he can't facilitate at this time. This was in October. Can't facilitate at this time. And this was in anticipation of the Christmas period that we are coming into here. So I responded and I said, please indicate when is a good time. No response. No response from the minister till date. I don't expect to get one anytime soon. So I'm making it public here. Minister, we look for a response from you with that traffic consultation in Shogunas. This is not scant courtesy and disrespect to the mayor's office, This is scant courtesy and disrespect to the burgesses of Shogunas. Don't worry, burgesses. The time is coming around again. And I want all the people of Shogunas to remember how they are treating us. Because we will run them out of Shogunas and we will vote them out of office. I must mention something about crime, because that will be a crime in itself. We live in a country where we are not sure if we will live to see tomorrow. We live in a society filled with conflicts and sorrow. We live in a society where gunmen are striking bull. Gunmen seem to not be afraid of the law. For example, the robbery and murder that took place outside Pennywise, and the murder of the San Fernando businesswoman. These things happen in broad daylight. Citizens, you here tonight, we live in a constant state of fear for our lives and our livelihood. Don't worry, that cricket won't do you anything. It have worse things out here in society than that cricket. We live in a country where there are more murders than days in the year. We live in a country where business owners are being taxed by the criminal elements and nothing can be done to stop it. Just now, and I'm talking about in Kelly, just now, there will be no businesses open on that stretch of roadway between Kelly to Las Lomas. We live in a country when you go to report a crime, you see the bandit behind the desk. We live in a country where the crime detection rate is a whopping 18%. Hines will beat desk clap and I don't know what he will do again. That is not even mediocre. That is very disturbing that our crime detection rate is 18%. We live in a country where the Minister of National Security said it is not his duty to ensure that people feel safe and secure. We live in a country where the Minister of National Security boasted we have our first conviction in human trafficking. And in the same report, we can't find the man, He evaded us. And smiling with it. We live in a country where files go missing from the Attorney General's office on his desk and suspects walk free. But they don't only walk free, we have to pay them millions. We, the taxpayers, have to pay millions because of this. And then, on top of that, we have to hire someone now to find the file that's right on top of the desk. And we wonder why crime is out of control in this country. Brothers and sisters, that is life. That is life under the PNM. And Rowley, he just gets mad when he hears Trinidad and Tobago is not a real place. Well, when they don't have a real government, Trinidad and Tobago could never be a real place. Eight years, and all this government have been singing, things hard, things hard, things hard. Miss me with that BS. It's your head. Your head hard. That's what I have to tell the government. They are intellectually bankrupt. That is why things are difficult and hard in this country. Their idea of diversifying this economy is coming up with new ways to tax you every year. Property tax, inheritance tax. Just now, they will implement a dog and cat tax. Or they might find a way to tax the air we breathe in right now. Ladies and gentlemen, moral of the story I started with tonight. Don't vote for the PNM. It's simple. That's the moral of the story. Don't vote for PNM. They put us in a crisis. And this country needs real leadership. This country needs a UNC government led by the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Join us on the road to victory. TNT wins with KPB. TNT wins with UNC. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you, Your Worship. We would like to recognize some of our special guests in the audience tonight. We have with us the Deputy Political Leader of the United National Congress, Ms. Jerlene John. Make some noise for Ms. Jerlene John. We have also Senator Naked with us. He's joining us tonight. Make some noise for Senator Naked. We have Member of Parliament for Couva North and our party organizer, Mr. Ravi Ratiram. We have our Member of Parliament for Caroni East, Mr. Rishad Sicharan. And joining us tonight, and we need to give them a really warm welcome tonight, is our brothers and sisters of the NTA. We have some NTA officials with us. Please make some noise and welcome them to United National Congress. I would like to also recognize the hard work of Mr. William Archie and his team, Atlantic Communications. I would have you know that we are live streaming tonight. It's on our UNC Facebook page, along with our YouTube channel. So please, if you could share the message with your friends and family to log on. Thank you, Mr. William Archie.
I would just like to say a special thank you to all members that made this event possible tonight. For us to be here to see our UNC family pavement report. Make some noise.
We will now move on with our program. I believe our next speaker is one that you have all been eagerly awaiting. She is no stranger to our platform in the United National Congress. She's a young woman, a proud Trinbagonian who resides in the village of Cunupia, where we are tonight. She obtained both her primary and secondary level education right here in Chaguanas. She's a fruit of a community-focused family. And at the young age of 16, she entered tertiary level education, where she pursued her associate degree in journalism, public relations. She has a Bachelor of Arts degree in mass communication. And just 1 year later, and this is an inspiration to all you young people outside there, at the age of 22, she made a life-changing decision to enter the field of politics. Of course, with victory, being elected as a local government representative, the councillor for the electoral district of Cunupia, again where we are here tonight. Passionate about success, education has always been a key factor, and most of you know that. After being elected for a third term in office, she ascended to the position of mayor for the borough of Chaguanas. And you would know in the midst of the global pandemic, the defining trait and characteristics of this young woman was her caring, compassionate, and humanitarian service. And it gave her the title of the People's Mayor. In 2020, she was hoisted onto the shoulders of the constituents of Chaguanas East, where she was elected the Member of Parliament for Chaguanas East, where she now sits in Parliament representing you. Please welcome to the UNC Pavement Report platform, your very own homegirl, Ms. Vandana Mohit.
Thank you very much to our esteemed political leader, the Honorable Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisessa, our deputy political leaders joining us here this evening, members of NATEX, members of Parliament, members of the Chaguanas Borough Corporation, His Worship the Mayor, members of our NTA family, our Cunupia brother, Mr. Norman Dindial, my Cunupia family, most importantly, my Chaguanas East family, and the largest of all, our big family here in the borough of Chaguanas. Good evening. I want you all to give all of our speakers a round of applause for the excellent service they are providing within the borough of Chaguanas. People of Chaguanas East and environs, tonight I stand before you just after the halfway point of my parliamentary tenure and after a successful local government election 2023, where electoral districts in Chaguanas were secured with greater increases in those tight marginal seats. Therefore, it is incumbent upon myself as your local member of parliament to provide an account of my stewardship as your representative in parliament. Usually you will hear me going the hard political road, but this evening I thought that it is important for me to account to you as to what I have done for you in Chaguanas East. Tonight for me is not about much politics or old talk. It is about reporting on our accomplishments and achievements as a united constituency that would have positively impacted the lives of our constituents, whether it is a small or large issue. Ladies and gentlemen, my life has been one that has been dedicated to selfless service, and I'm sure you would agree with me. I can champion that statement since it has become my working mantra. Therefore, tonight, it requires a report, since this forum tonight is the Pavement report, and we must say and account for our actions since assuming respective offices. The office of the MP for Chaguanas East functions and operates, and I want you to listen to this carefully, functions and operates as a government, or let's say a cabinet, because we represent and address all matters affecting the lives of the people, not in Chaguanas East only, but anyone who knocks on our door. I'm sure you would agree with me, but the unofficial feedback is go by she, go by Vandana, you're going to get through. She does help, they does help in that office, them does get things done. And that is the unofficial feedback. So ladies and gentlemen, let us start this report with the traffic situation in Chaguanas East. In early 2022, I filed a question to the Minister of Works and Transport on the Chaguanas Alleviation Traffic Project as regards phases 4 and 5. This can be evidenced by the oral question since September 9th, 2022, and it will show on the order paper. This fast-tracked the works with the widening, and let me not forget to mention our protest action, and you'll see some of it on the screen. Our protest action by all of us on that Chaguanas flyover. This would have fast-tracked the works with the widening of the roadway at the Endeavour overpass, currently being undertaken, which should assist with the traffic congestion. And I say, let all those outside of us in the UNC try to take pips. The Hansard records will show, our protest actions will show, our pleas will show, and it is well recorded and documented. I say actions speak louder than words. Let's move now to the S-Bend project. My friends, ongoing constant lobbying for the S-Bend project, year after year, question after question, letter after letter. And you all know where the S-Bend is, right here, bordering Jerningham and Endeavour. If the Minister of Public Utilities, the Minister of Public Utilities feels that I will get fed up and give up, he's in for a shock, since I intend to intensify my battle for that S-Bend project, which was already tendered and awarded, I even met the contractor there, but it had to be shelved because of his inaction of failing to relocate the water lines. Tonight I say to the minister, make sure the S-Bend project is completed before the rainy season of 2024, or else you will feel the wrath of those residents in Cunupia who deserve better. My friends, I move now to the big, hot topic, the Bridle Road Bridge. This bridge is causing me sleepless nights, tough days. Sometimes I fight in some battles I don't know. But since my tenure as a local government representative, my views has always been for a total, holistic development of the region. Let's not forget that. With any development, my friends, there will be disruptions, there will be obstacles and inconveniences. But the overall objective will be for the greater good. And this is commonly known as growing pains. I want you to take into consideration when you are building a new house, a temporary structure, or as we used to call it long time, a kutia, while the fancy one is constructed. This statement is predicated against the backdrop of the Bridle Road Bridge project, which I intend, and I give you that commitment today, I intend to see that bridge completed during this term of office. And I say to you, the benefits of this project would immensely improve the area and dramatically alleviate the traffic situation right here in Cunupia. The background of this project is well ventilated and articulated, from the early detection of its structural flaws to the installation of the Bailey Bridge, to the traffic light installation, to the relocation. All these activities towards the final construction of the bridge was well communicated to the residents by myself and my office through numerous media platforms and personal interactions. Therefore, residents, I appeal to your good selves to be patient, hold strain, the bridge is coming soon, and let us not engage in much untoward action that can jeopardize this project. I want to tell you something. You all don't know this PNM, you know. You all remember the PNM is just looking for an opportunity to destroy your future here in Shoguana-Seas, and this project is your future. The child in the video clip that cannot go to school, I want that two-way bridge constructed so the child and other children can reach to school on time. So let us not get the facts misrepresented. This project is for the benefit of all of you, not just in Cunupia, Lange Park, Endeavour, Montrose, etc., Enterprise, North, South, everybody. I now move to drainage to let you know that a comprehensive audit was undertaken by my office, wherein water courses prone to flooding were submitted to drainage. I want to inform you that works have begun, construction works, at the Diet Estate River. In addition to that, cleanup works have taken place at Lalan River, Marchin River, the Caparo Brasso River, from the ice factory to super quality, the Montrose River, the Lachu River right here by the gas station. And I intend to follow up based on correspondence written on 9 projects where I'm requesting works. I now move to the Shoguanas Borough Corporation. Numerous local government issues have been forwarded to the CBC via letters formally written, ranging from illegal buildings, encroachments, drainage, roads, recreation grounds, employment, littering, for their attention and necessary action. And I want to inform you that there's a blurred line between the office of the MP and the Shoguanas Borough Corporation. However, whilst these function are under the remit of the CBC, we would continue to work together in your interests. I moved to the Cunupia Regional Corporation. Several correspondents from the Office of the MP forwarded to the Cunupia Regional Corporation for roadworks, drainage, infrastructural issues. We would have been able to get this project at the Marshall Trace location. I want to also inform you that there's a breath of fresh air in the area of Warren. And that is our new councillor, Kamla Pagu. She's not here with us tonight, but I want you to give her a round of applause. Hard-working lady. The only councillor in the Cunupia Regional Corporation. She has seen it fit and righteous to liaise with the Office of the MP and provide her support, tremendous support, in undertaking drainage works. And we have visited Rampol Avenue and Marshall Trace Extension, where she will be placing her DP development projects for this fiscal year. So continue the good work, Kamla, and we look forward to having you in our next meeting. Cleanup campaigns. Since my tenure, the start, I would have done my first cleanup campaign in the community of Lanch Park. Just recently, we would have done another cleanup campaign in the community of Point Pleasant Park. I now move to the Cerebral Palsy Society of Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, after a debacle where the Cerebral Palsy Society of Trinidad and Tobago were literally evicted from the Carson Field Enrichment Center in late September, which further exacerbated their circumstances experienced by the children. An intervention was initiated, and I want you to give a round of applause to the Leader of Opposition, the Honorable Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bissessa, and His Worship, Mayor Faiq Mohammed. We would have worked in tandem to ensure that the approvals requested were given, and the Cerebral Palsy Society is now housed at the Chaguanas Borough Corporation, where they can undergo their therapy treatment. Big things in store. Very soon they will have a new home in Chaguanas. The mayor and myself, we are working with corporate sponsor Price Club, who is providing a home for the Cerebral Palsy Society free of charge. And my friends, despite all of this, no word from the government. So imagine we can see this, but the government cannot see the importance of these children. My friends, when it comes to constituency funding, despite no allocated resources to the Office of the MP, we would have provided numerous families and organizations with support, religious bodies, sports clubs, youth clubs, victims of natural disasters, scholarship winners, many coming from the communities within the constituency, financially strapped students, school supplies to vulnerable and vulnerable households. In addition to that, I have my good friend Mr. Ralph from Pan Angels from within the community of Enterprise. He had an unfortunate incident, but we are dealing with that, where those youth, they were not judged. Unfortunate, but we will do all that is necessary to ensure that Pan Angels get what they deserve. In addition to that, many people have said to me, this MP all over the place like a fisherwoman. We have seen it necessary in this constituency to ensure that we safeguard families and ensure that there's food security within our community. Several seedling distributions within the communities to ensure that we have that homegrown food, and several fish distribution drives within our communities. In addition to that, I want to inform you that representation and works have been taken in the areas of housing, URP, wheelchair distributions, humps. We get in a 1 or 2 sticking here and there, but we still lobbying. Resolving, can you believe you finish pay NIS contribution and you still get in trouble in this country? We have resolved through the Office of the MP several NIB issues, and we have many happy faces arising out of those resolutions. Pension applications assisted many. Grant applications assisted many. Sometimes I will have Kasana from my office heading down to self-help with several applications just to make sure that we get that receipt so we can have that evidence that those people would have applied. Resolving immigration issues. And of course, when we get our food cards for Christmas, giving to our constituents. I want to inform you that by correspondence dated 20th November 2023, I would have written to the Minister of Social Development as the shadow person for the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services, and I have asked for the ministry to provide at least 300 Christmas food cards this season. We look forward to that. We are calling on the government to ensure that families have something in their homes this Christmas, vulnerable families, to ensure that we get those Christmas food cards at the MP's offices. In addition, I was told that you know those green hampers you used to collect at the MP's offices with the chicken and the green vegetables during the COVID period? So I'm now told that the funding has to come from the Social Development Ministry, and NAMDEVCO will then prepare the green hampers. Given that, I know my colleague MP Ratiram, he deals with agriculture, but given that the funding comes from social development, we have written to the Minister of Social Development asking, the letter has gone already, asking for green hampers to be provided to vulnerable families for all MPs during this Christmas period, so families can have something within their homes this Christmas. We make the call to the government, help vulnerable families this Christmas. Friends, tonight I want to report to you that the MP office can be described as a factory representing people's issues here in the constituency of Shaughnessy. And it will be remiss of me if I do not speak about our farmers who have faced flooding, deplorable access roads, worsening giant African snail problem, whilst the Minister of Agriculture, who is a stone throw away from here, he's only studying to get crossovers, have people leave the UNC and come to the PNM. That's all the Minister of Agriculture is taken up with at this point in time. Nothing to deal with the farmers in Jerningham. They said that there are no registered farmers, and if they are registered, they will get the necessary funding and compensation. They are registered. We have proof of that. And they have not received any compensation. But we will continue, and we call on the Minister of Agriculture to deal with our farmers in Jerningham and Sugrim Street West. Before I close up, I want to inform you that the Hasrat Road extension, deplorable condition, I have submitted. And I know Mr. Damani is here, a former alderman within the UNC. Give him a round of applause. 2 schools in the vicinity, deplorable condition. The road is collapsing. I have sent a petition from the residents. I have written to the Minister of Works and Transport. Today I'm asking, Minister of Works and Transport, please, assist under the secondary roads program. The children are going to school. Parents are damaging their cars, attempting to drop their children to school at Hasrat Road Extension. Please help us fix that road. I want to inform the communities in terms of sports that I will be approaching the Sport Company of Trinidad and Tobago to deal with the Postman grounds, to deal with the Das Trace grounds, and the Avidesh Samaru Park in Endeavour. Because it is in a... I cannot blame the Chaguanas Borough Corporation because they can only do so much with their funding. But the help of the sports company, it is required. So we will be approaching them. These facilities, I can say, is in dire need of urgent help. You would have heard from the Councillor for Enterprise North, Esmeralda. We have worked with Digicel, and you now have a library and homework center at the Das Trace Recreation Ground. And this is a wonderful initiative for your community. I want to just deal with crime a little and then leave you for tonight. I want to tell you, do not be misled by this government's gamesmanship as it pertains to crime talks, and who should attend and who should not attend. From the perspective of the people of Chaguanas East, they are calling for the removal of the Minister of National Security from these crime talks, solely on the basis that if he was doing his job, there would not be any need for such crime talks to take place in the first place. And you have town hall meetings held by the TTPS in Chaguanas last night, not even an invitation extended to the office of the MP. But I like the headline, TTPS receive licks from Cunupia residents, countless home invasions, and you all are waiting there for police support. I respect my police officers in Cunupia though, who always provide assistance. But of course you know how these systems go, so we cannot blame them present. But I have called for resources. I have even said that I will need to come here and ask for a police officer. We have called for police posts, nothing. Following the death of Jamal Morris. They promised you a police station in Longdonville Enterprise. Nothing. So, tonight I once again implore the authorities. I have seen that there's a drone, the mystery drone, here in Cunupia. Many residents have been raising this issue with me, that these drones are circulating within the communities, and then you see robberies happening within the communities. I have sent a WhatsApp last night to the Commissioner of Police, and today I make a call again for the TTPS to deal with these mysterious drones here in the community of Chaguanas. So my friends, remember that we must always work together in the interest of our community and our party. We must stand strong and not forget that we are in this to win this. One day we shall see the fruits of our hard work. I thank the honorable political leader for the opportunity to serve you. I say to you tonight, let us continue to work together and keep the faith. Long live Chaguanas East as we lead the charge into government. Long live the United National Congress. Long live our political leader.
When it comes to think of election time, everyone get around and join the line. Vote for Vandana, she's a one of a kind. Chaguanas East is about to shine. Trinidad, listen, now is the time. Let's hear it from my home girl. Chaguanas East, let's take control. Let's hear it from my home girl.
Thank you, MP Vandana Mohet. Make some noise for MP Vandana Mohet. She not only talks the talk, but she also walks the walk. And we could see that within the constituency of Chaguanas East. And I have to bring it back to the woman who was instrumental in selecting our finest representatives, and that is our political leader, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, because she has mandated every single representative from across Trinidad and Tobago. You serve the people, serve the people, serve the people. And that is what you will see across Trinidad and Tobago. Even where we are not represented in the parliament or in the corporations, we continue to serve the people. So tonight, make some noise for Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Our next speaker has offered dynamic and resilient representation to the people of Pointe-à-Pitre since 2015. He has fought inside and outside of the parliament for better roads, community development, and standard of living for the people of Pointe-à-Pitre. Besides fighting for the people of Pointe-à-Pitre, he has offered yeoman service to the United National Congress, serving as our chairman from 2015 to 2017, and now as our deputy political leader from 2017 to present. And he's also our opposition chief whip. And I know by now you know who that is. Qualified in finance and accounting, the St. Mary's Old Boy spent over 15 years at the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago. Without further ado, let us welcome to the UNC Pavement Report, the Deputy Political Leader of the UNC, Dr. David Lee.
Rowley, you dog! Look how high the crime rate is in the country now, boy. Farmers, come down, come down. Come down, come down. UNC,
Thank you. Cunupia. Big crowd here tonight. Big crowd, big crowd. I want to say we're having a fantastic meeting. We just listened to our sister, Vandana Mohit, and I want to say, Shogunas is in good hands here with Vandana Mohit, my brothers and sisters. Vandana mentioned they have a fellow called the crossover minister. We'll call him from now, the minister, we'll call him the crossover minister. I want to tell him all the people he take and he crossover, keep them, because we don't want them back in the UNC. All right? So you see the Rishi Sukai, I'll come to him later tonight. I have something on Rishi Sukai later. But you could keep him. You could keep him. Brothers and sisters, tonight is my pleasure to be in your pavement report in Cunupia and Chaguanas East. Tonight, today, November 30th, we must remember this day, November 30th. Two things happened today. Two things happened in our country today on November 30th. And I will talk about it and elaborate in my speech. Number one, November 30th, 2018, represented today 5 years that this wicked PNM government shut down our refinery in Pointe-à-Pitre. That's what they did 5 years ago, November 30th, 2018. And I will expand. The second thing, major thing that happened today was that the commission of inquiry into the death of those 4 divers was given to the president today, that report, and I will elaborate later on in my proceedings here tonight. Before I get in, I must say, I know our honorable political leader is locked on and listening. Welcome and good night to our honorable political leader, all my parliamentary colleagues who are present here tonight. I want to please give a big round of applause to our family, the NTO officials who are here tonight. They saw the importance of coming out to be part of our family in our pavement report in Cunupia, and I thank them for coming out tonight. The pavement report, my brothers and sisters, continue as part of the UNC's continued fight to stand up against the PNM's island-wide destruction. We are a nation that has descended into chaos and lawlessness because those in the government, this present government, has simply abandoned their responsibilities and the people of this nation. Chaos is everywhere. You heard it from all the councillors, you heard it from the mayor, and you heard it from Vandana. Chaos is everywhere in our country. This week we saw arsonists burning vehicles in our licensed head office in Caroni. On Tuesday, a grandmother and autistic child were robbed in a home invasion. Vandana talked about home invasion right here. Week before, the data of thousands of citizens was stolen and hacked. Last week, we saw citizens going to a police station to report a robbery, only to, on the news report, it states the bandits were working in the police station. We face chaos, crisis, and fear because this wicked government simply lacks the ability and care to govern our country. Vandana talked about home invasion. Home invasion is real, my brothers and sisters. It touched me a couple weeks ago. Home invasion is real. And I will just touch a little bit on that home invasion that touched me personally. My uncle and aunt, who are dear to me, their home was invaded 2 weeks ago. The bandits came in at 3 o'clock in the morning. They entered the house at 3 o'clock. They were asleep in a certain part of the house, just my uncle and aunt. My uncle is 86, my aunt is 82. The bedrooms were locked by a gate. The bandits, 4 bandits, waited inside the house until they got up. Until they opened that gate to come out in the kitchen. My aunt was still asleep, and they hit her with a gun on her head. That is the level that we are dealing with in our country. And we must always remember, whenever that election is called, we must say enough is enough and get this wicked government out who cannot do the job out of our country. My brothers and sisters, 5 years ago, 2018, November 30th, Petrotrin, this wicked and callous government, led by Prime Minister Rowley, Stuart Young, Imbert, and at that time they had a fellow who was chairing that company called Wilfred Espini. They shut down the Petrotrin refinery and sent home over 10,000 people, my brothers and sisters, 5 years ago. And we are still feeling the effects of that closure in our country. We still feeling the effects. Today, I could not be there, but my brothers and comrades had a memorial session outside Petrotrin. And they are saying, and I hope Archie can see this, they are saying after 5 years with the shutdown of Petrotrin, we still have massive unemployment. Refinery is still closed. And I will tell you how much it costs this government and costs you, the taxpayers, to maintain or to have a company called Demas look at that refinery, that scrap iron, for the last 5 years. High cost of living. The past Petrotrin employees' pension plan is at risk. No medical plan for those individuals who have sweated and earned their living and took that area, the refinery, which is a very hazardous area. They no longer have a medical plan. And high crime rate in our country. That is what we have experienced since the shutdown of Petrotrin. Petrotrin affects not only Pointe-a-Pierre, it affects the fence line communities of Tabaquite, even San Fernando East, which is PNM, and San Fernando West, and as far as Point Lisa to my brothers in Couva North and Couva South, my brothers and sisters. 5 years ago, they shut down the refinery. We have filed a FOIA, and I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, where Demas was given the contract to just watch this refinery. Watch the refinery. Don't do anything, just watch it. You know how much it costs? Demas has charged you, the taxpayers, for the last 4 years to watch the refinery, just to watch it. Over $34 million. $34 million. Just to watch the refinery. Don't do anything, just to watch it. And we cannot get the kind of facilities, and the diverse family who have died in that pipeline are suffering because they have never gotten a cent, and I'll come to that. So $34 million they paid Demas. That is criminal. And we have the kind of suffering in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, here tonight about that Petrotrin. Prime Minister Rowley, back in 2018, November, when he shut down the refinery, he said, these are his words, that when he shut down the refinery, Petrotrin, history will vindicate him. I want to tell Rowley, history will never vindicate you for shutting down our refinery. They did it to Caroni, they will do it, they did it to Petrotrin. We will never allow them to be vindicated, my brothers and sisters. 2 days ago in the Senate, Senator John was there. The Minister of Energy told us that Paria, which is the company they have set up to purchase fuel for our country, spent over $3 billion to import fuel. When we had the refinery, we didn't used to do that. We had our own energy security. So 2 days ago in the Senate, Senator John and Senator Naked, who is here, they filed a question. So the Minister of Energy comes in the Senate and says he spent over, the government, the country spent over $3 billion to import fuel. I want to tell Minister of Energy, he got his figure wrong. Because we filed another FYA. And the true figure from 2018, when that Petrotrin refinery was shut down, to the September 30th, this government spent over $6.3 million importing fuel in our country. So whatever figure Stuart Young gave in the Senate, he was short about $3 billion. And you wonder right here in Cunupia, our business folks in the Chaguanas borough, why we don't have foreign exchange? Because all our foreign exchange, where we didn't used to have to use, is now being spent to import fuel. Where before, we never had to do that before. So that is why, one of the major reasons why we have a shortage of foreign exchange when we go to the bank. When we travel, all they're giving us is $200 when you go to the bank. And they tell you come back for $50 and $100. Under the glory days of Kamla Prasad Bissessa between 2010 and 2015, U.S. currency was an abundant when we went in the bank. We never had a problem with our credit cards. We never had issues going flying out. We never had issues in paying for our kids, our children who are at university abroad. We never had problems getting U.S. if we had to do medical abroad. We never had that. But since this wicked government has come into play, we have shortage of U.S. in our country. So ladies and gentlemen, Petrotrin, today, as I remind you, was the anniversary of 5 years. And just the other day, last week I think, or this week, there were some experts who were asked about the Petrotrin refinery shutdown. And we have a UE economist, Dr. Marlene Atz, and then another well-renowned energy expert in Anthony Paul. And I'll tell you what Anthony Paul said. Anthony Paul said, who's a well-renowned energy expert, not like Stuart Young. Stuart Young is a lawyer, right? So Anthony Paul says, well, we could say liar because when Julie John in the parliament, she can't say liar. She can say untruth. Or when Naked like to say lie, but he had to pull back and he say untruth. Right? Not so, Senator John? So let me tell you what Anthony Paul said about the refinery and the shutdown. Paul said, this is, and I quote in the article, Paul did not believe any objective study was done to clearly say why Petrotrin was closed. As someone, this is Paul, was associated with the company in different ways throughout his career, Anthony Paul, believed the former company, which is Petrotrin, still had value for Trinidad and Tobago. This is an energy expert. My sense is that Petrotrin has valuable assets above and below the ground. On the latter, Paul said at least 900 billion barrels of heavy oil were in Petrotrin. So what Paul is saying, Petrotrin should have never been shut down. It has value for our people and for our country. Paul was saying it's because of the poor management by the PNM, that's why they shut down. And maybe when our opposition leader had bust a mark a couple of years ago, we talked about fake oil. You all remember that? Now, I don't want to go too much in that because I know they have a couple of lawyers out there listening. All right? So the bottom line, everyone in our country except Rowley, Stuart Young, Imbert, and that whole cabinet felt that Petrotrin should not have been shut down. And we in the opposition, when we go back into power, we will call for a commission of inquiry in why they shut down that Petrotrin refinery. I want to move on to Paria. for a bit. Today, as I said, the second major issue that happened in our country today is that Paria, the death of those 4 divers, that report was given to the president. And we are saying from the offstart to the president and to this government, you better come clean and lay that report to the public of Trinidad and Tobago so that we could understand what really happened to those 4 divers. Now, in the front page of today's Guardian, Ms. John told me, she gave this to me tonight. She came all the way from Port of Spain to give me this. And it says, this is the commission, the chairman of the Commission of Inquiry. No act of God. What he is saying, the death of the 4 divers was not an act of God. So if it was not an act of God, you tell me, what was it? What was it? Right? It was not an act of God. So based on all the findings and inquiry, the commissioner, the chairman, King's Counsel, Jerome Lynch, said the death of those 4 divers, in his opinion, is not an act of God. And that is why this public, our country, the families of those divers need to understand what really happened, why those divers died in that pipe. Because one survived. One survived. And if one survived, all could have survived. That is what we need to know that. We need to know that. We need to know. Now, I think is that Senator Naked? Okay. There's another headline in the papers today based on the same Paria report. The chairman, Jerome Lynch, is saying the diver's family deserves funding, financial assistance. That's what he's saying. Because to date, unless I am wrong, those families, the children of those divers who died in that pipeline, even the one lone survivor, has never gotten any assistance from Paria and this government. That is the kind of wicked government we have running our country. And these are the people, this government, the people, certain people, not anybody here, keep voting and putting these people back. But enough is enough. Enough is enough. So, ladies and gentlemen, 2 major things happened. That Paria report has to be made public as soon as possible so that the divers' families can get closure and be able to get some sort of compensation for the hardship that they are enduring, my brothers and sisters. I want to also thank, based on that report today, I want to thank our honorable leader, Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Because if it was not for her probing and her insistence to have a commission of inquiry set up for those 4 divers, this government and Paria officials would have gotten away scot-free. They would have gone. It was because of the insistence and the pressure put on by the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa and opposition members that is why this government was forced to have a commission inquiry into those divers. So I want to thank her for that. And I'm saying to the government and Paria, do the decent thing and compensate these families and their children right away. Right away. Right away. I want to speak, before I come to an end, one other topic, the dragon gas. The dragon gas, we all know about the dragon gas. And the only good dragon is me. They just call me the Chinese dragon. The only good dragon is me. See that dragon gas in Venezuela? That's a different topic. The dragon gas is, the whole deal is full of untruths, lies, conspiracy, etc. A couple days ago in the Senate, again, my colleagues are here from the Senate. Through Senator Wade Mark, he filed a private motion and calling upon to find out for some transparency and accountability in that dragon gas deal. I want to remind you all a couple of things. I know Senator Anna Roberts is doing a press conference tomorrow, so I ask you all to tune in tomorrow morning for his press conference because he has more to say on that whole dragon gas issue. But I'll touch on one thing. I'll tell you how deceitful this government is. Back in 2020, when we were going through COVID, in the height of COVID, the only man could have signed for people to come in this country was Stuart Young, at the time was Minister of National Security. Stuart Young and Rowley, Prime Minister Rowley, didn't allow any of our citizens to come in during at least the first year in COVID. But he allowed a plane with some Venezuelans. On that plane, a Vice President, Delcy Rodriguez, and a team from PDVSA, Energy Czars, to come in this country to meet with Stuart Young and Prime Minister Rowley. When they came, and the media asked Rowley, what they here for? He said, well, they come to talk about COVID, and they want to talk about hampers. You hear lie? That is lie. What was revealed in the Senate a couple days ago is from the mouth of Stuart Young. They really came to discuss the dragon gas deal with Rowley and Stuart Young back then. So whatever Prime Minister Rowley and Stuart Young want to come and tell you, this government cabinet want to tell, they tell you lies. They tell you lies. It's years after you find out the truth. It's years after, but the pressure that the opposition keeps putting on them, they crack. And then, you know, we have to listen to the people, not you all here, what the opposition doing. What the opposition? The opposition has been doing their job time and time again, and we keep this government in check. We keep this government in check. But we need your help. We need your help because we cannot do it alone. When that time comes, my brothers and sisters, it's time to show them that finger. It's time to show them that finger. So as I come to an end, I know we listened a lot here tonight, and I want to thank you all for coming out. We had a very powerful and dynamic meeting. I think Chaguanas East is in great hands with your MP Vandana Mohit. Rishi Sukai could jump high, jump low. I think you have a high-pitched voice. So I'll say more about that another time. All right? I'll say more about that another time. But I want to say to you as I end here tonight, we had a great meeting, and we have one leader, and that leader is the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar. We have one great party led by one leader, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar. There are no vacancy for leadership in the United National Congress. We have one party, one leader. Stand strong, my brothers and sisters, because whenever that election bell is rung, we will take it. We'll beat them in the east in Chaguanas East with Vandana Mohit. We'll beat them in the west in Chaguanas. We'll beat them in the north and we'll beat them in the south. We'll beat them and we'll beat them and we'll beat them. I thank you, my brothers. Reach home safe, my brothers and sisters. I thank you.
Look how high the crime rate is in the country now, boy. Farris, come down, come down. UNC, in tongue. I don't want to leave you on the bow. I need to come down here for men. You're claiming me and never miss boss, but look how high the crime rate is now.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight and for you all to reach home safely. Thank you, guys.
PNM feel the pride. The guy win the election tonight. Farris, come down. Come down. UNC, in tongue. I don't want to leave you on the bow. I need to come down here for men. You're claiming me.